All right, didn't have much time to prepare for this one, but I hit up a source yesterday and I got some info on Whatnot and Backyard and some other things that are going to kind of shake up the hobby a little bit. I dumped it on Instagram last night and it's going crazy right now. So number one, first of all, I got wind that Whatnot is very close to an IPO. They are looking to IPO by the end of this year, which is interesting. There's implications for that. And then I also found out that Backyard Breaks has a sweetheart deal with Whatnot where they actually pay zero fees, not just like the regular ancillary commission fees, but they actually pay no processing fees. So Backyard, they're propping them up. Here's your 13% advantage over all competitors, and they've had the sweetheart deal forever. And this morning, I think Whatnot is waking up to a lot of pissed off sellers. I talked to two in the top 10, I would say, for sports cards. They had no idea this deal was in place, but it is, and it just shows how bound together they are. I'm going to talk about the IPO later, put on my Wall Street hat a little bit. But I mean, essentially, they're just trying to like beat out the clock here. I'll talk about a lawsuit later as well that just got filed on New Year's Eve, actually. But they're trying to get to IPO as fast as they can. They know there's more capitalized competitors out there like Walmart and TikTok and eBay, and they are coming for the merch side of things. I don't know about cards so much, but there's other competitors there too. And Whatnot has a very, very low bar for entry. There used to be a 1 hour virtual thingamajig that I did, and you got to answer some questions that are really easy, and then you're in and you can sell. Now there isn't. They don't even do that. It's like a flea market from the 90s, which were a lot of fun, but a lot of shady crap happened to those, and that's how Whatnot's getting run right now. And I think it's going to bite them. So they're going to get to this IPO as fast as possible and just pull the ripcord, get the funds that invested their money, get the founders their money, and just make it past the lock period and hope for the best. Backyard's going to benefit from that. I am almost certain there is some sort of equity exchange in place between those two companies, and they've been kind of together, part of the DNA of this thing since the beginning. I just didn't realize that they were feeding their best seller. Like, I get it, in business you need to take care of your best sellers, but this is extreme. I've never heard of a similar ecosystem where somebody's actually given a 0% fee advantage. That is unbelievable. Outside of a cartel or I should have thought more about this, but if you can think of any, let me know. So the Craigslist is still here, but it kind of sucks. And people get killed on there. Like, they go meet up and they're kidnapped and bad things happen on Craigslist. It's not a great way to do business anymore. You kind of look at it and you're like, oof, do I take a chance on that couch? I don't know what's going to happen. It's kind of like Whatnot, like this drunk driving happening on Whatnot. Somebody was breaking cards while drunk driving, and he admitted it. Like, somebody's going to die on camera. I don't know, probably by the end of the year. And it's just like I don't know. It's just a crappy flea market type ecosystem, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. I did a funny contest on Instagram, and I asked people to submit future potential stock symbols for Whatnot, and they came up with some really good ones. One was Coke, which I was like, I'm not going there, but like scam and wine and shill and stuff like that. And I thought to myself, are there casinos where people hate the casino this much? There aren't. People keep going back because the casino offers a premium customer experience and customer service. Whatnot is just a flea market, and just everybody hates them, but they use it. It's like they're addicted to it, but they hate it. And casinos are a little bit different. The addiction's there, but at least you get a nice restaurant and free drinks, and it's a beautiful building. Whatnot is not a beautiful building, and like I said, they better get to this IPO fast. They're growing. Live selling's growing. It's going more mainstream to the US, but I don't know. All right, now let's get to the lawsuit. So Whatnot's had a lot of lawsuits. There was one in Massachusetts where a kid took their parents' credit card and racked up like 40, 60, 80 grand in charges on the card. And the parent was like, why was this kid allowed to spend this money and Whatnot? Why weren't there any triggers? I think they're actually winning the case, to be honest. So that was one. But this new one, it got filed on New Year's Eve. And I'm pretty good at diving. I don't have the legal software. If I did, I could see more details. But it's I actually know what it's about. I can't quite share yet, but it's listed as other fraud. I'm gonna I'm gonna let your imaginations run wild and just think for a minute about Whatnot and what they offer. Whatnot offers sports card breaks. Whatnot offers spin the wheel. They offer cards in a deck, to determine position. They also sell repacks, and I don't know. I think one of those areas might be a major source of concern. And I will say something I can share that I don't know if you guys remember about 2 months ago, Walmart, Freudian slip. Whatnot actually decided to do this new standard for repacks. They were going to have more oversight on checklists. They were going to look into the operations and make sure there's Chinese walls in place. And so, you guys are smart people. You're smart listeners, watchers, whatever you're doing. I gave you two pieces of information. You can connect the dots. And I would just set up a Google alert for this lawsuit. I would also encourage you to follow Paul Lesko on Instagram. He's sort of the hobby lawyer. He does have the software. He knows about things before me or anybody else, which is kind of cool. So we've got a race to an IPO. As part of that race, they have really sugar coated backyards deal, no fees at all. I know this morning, after I set that bomb off on Instagram last night, that there are a lot of pissed off sellers, especially ones that I talk to. And I imagine they're going to have to make some deals today to keep them happy and keep them from leaving Whatnot. And, they got to slow down, focus on quality, but they're not going to, because they got to they're not like a normal company preparing for an IPO. They IPO when they feel like it. They've already built a good company. But this company is IPO. It's like life or death. Get to that IPO, please, before we're sued out of our minds and, people leave in droves and the clock runs out and TikTok and more capitalized competitors come eat our lunch. So that's the plan. And I don't know. Look again. What do you guys think is the best stock symbol to potentially describe Whatnot? My favorite is SHIL. Let me know what you guys think. And thanks.